Five Nights at Freddy's essentially changed the horror game scene forever. From being merely about supernatural animatronics that roam the night, the series has expanded to include numerous books, video games, and even a feature-length film. Other than the hidden Easter eggs and lore, one of the biggest highlights about the first game was the gameplay, essentially being a twist on the classic point-and-click genre in which the player cannot physically move and has to actively participate for their survival. This game was addictive, and seemingly everyone wanted to play it back when it first released in 2014. Now, in 2023, just beyond the franchise's 9th anniversary, I want to look at the many different ways you can actually, physically, play Five Nights at Freddy's. As most of you already know, Five Nights at Freddy's was first released on Steam on August 8th of 2014 for about $5. This is probably the way a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's fans either played or watched the game back then. Whether it was through Markiplier's classic videos or actually playing yourself, this was one of the only ways to play it. Until the first mobile port of Five Nights at Freddy's was released on August 25th of that same year, 17 days after the game's official release on Steam. Fans who previously couldn't play the game could now do so on their mobile devices, specifically on iOS and Android. This is how I first played the game, specifically on the game's demo version that was released. And let's just say that 10-year-old me was probably not sleeping for a few nights. The mobile port of the game was practically identical to the original game at launch, other than a few minor differences. For some reason, the game's clock was almost twice as fast as the Steam release. For those who don't know, the original Five Nights at Freddy's game's nights last for a total of 8 minutes and 36 seconds. With the mobile port, this comes out to about 4.5 minutes. To compensate for this, of course, the power would drain faster and the animatronics were quicker and more aggressive, specifically Bonnie and Chica. Other than minor UI or graphical differences, another drastic change was the game's use of in-app purchases. There were 4 different purchases you could make if you were feeling extra generous. These include 3 adorable plushies of both Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica, and an extra cheats mode. The 3 plushies cost about $1 each, and to my knowledge, do absolutely nothing. But the cheats mode is a whole nother story. Purchasing the cheats mode basically gives 3 perks that can be toggled. This includes unlimited power, a radar map, and quicker nights. Unlimited power, just keeping you at 100% for the duration of the night. The radar map shows you the exact locations of all 4 of the animatronics. Side note, but I remember wanting to buy this to confirm if Golden Freddy was actually located in the kitchen, which was a popular theory at the time. Sadly though, Golden Freddy does not show up on the radar map, no matter how much I want to believe it. Anyway, the last perk is quicker nights, which you guessed it, makes the nights go by faster. Other than those differences, the old mobile version is basically a choppier, low quality version of the original game. That's completely functional at the end of the day. If only the game looked a little bit better. Oh, never mind. The remastered mobile port of Five Nights at Freddy's was released on July 31st and August 16th of 2019 on both iOS and Android, of course. The port was handled by Click Team internally. Originally, the video game engine that Scott Cawthon had used to actually develop the majority of the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Other than being more similar to the PC release graphically, the only other notable difference is the cheats mode being renamed to the survival kit. The other difference is fixing the issue with the nights being faster, returning back to 8 minutes and 36 seconds just like the original, and the addition of a Foxy plush. So that's it. Can only play on Steam and mobile, huh? Pretty lame if you ask me. If only there was a way for fans of the series to play, I don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's on either the PlayStation, maybe the Xbox, or Nintendo Switch. Well, The Five Nights at Freddy's console ports were handled by Click Team again on November 29th of 2019, along with FNAF 2, 3, 4, Sister Location, Pizza Sim, and Ultimate Custom Night. Five Nights at Freddy's 1 costs about $8 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, this port is virtually the same as the original PC release. Aside from some bugs, the only actual changes are the addition of both in-game achievements and a pause menu. Oh yeah, that just feels wrong. The achievements range from completing each night to not letting Freddy get to cams 4A or 4B during night 5. Seems pretty random, but okay. There actually is an achievement of completing 420 mode in this version. If you don't know what 420 mode is, it's when you manually set all 4 animatronics on the custom night of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 to their highest difficulty. Funnily enough, originally, Scott thought the mode was impossible at launch, so seeing it as an actual achievement in-game is pretty neat. This game is also included in the Five Nights at Freddy's Core collection that was later released on January 12, 2021, with virtually no changes to the game. Now, to talk about the elephant in the room. Five Nights at Freddy's can be played on the Nintendo 3DS with Homebrew. Obviously, you should definitely not pirate games unless you already own that same game, especially on a device that is almost 12 years old. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to play this version because I don't own a 3DS, but from different gameplay videos and screenshots, all linked in the description by the way, it looks fantastic. Having the ability to manually click on the cameras with either the stylus or your finger makes the whole thing look and feel pretty immersive. Now, you know what else is immersive? As many of you know, the first Five Nights at Freddy's game can be played on VR as well, thanks to Steelwool's FNAF VR Help Wanted. Now, it's not necessarily a port, but an official 3D reimagining of the game that can be played in both VR mode or on their flat mode. I could see if this really isn't a legitimate way of playing the first FNAF game, but I just can't go without mentioning it at least. If you can't already tell, this game in VR is legitimately terrifying. Something about having these giant animatronics physically lurk towards your pitch black environment, especially with the feature they added of either Bonnie or Chica standing next to your door when they get close to you. It adds so much to the setting and atmosphere that the original gave off all the way back in 2014. So yeah, there are quite a lot of different ways you can actually play the game that started the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. If you haven't played it already, literally what are you doing watching this video? Shoot, go, play it, go. The magic and terror that the first game brought to the horror scene back in 2014 will probably never be matched with ever again. And the fact that this game is getting its own movie speaks for itself, which, by the way, I'm literally so excited for it to come out. The significance of this game is important for building this gigantic franchise, and something tells me that this series is here to stay for quite a long time. This is just a quick outro, but before this video actually ends, I just want to say thank you so much for the support recently. Before I posted my last video, I had about 400 or so subscribers, and at the time I'm recording this, it's beyond 3,000. My video is also sitting at over 100,000 views, and I've been reading all the nice comments you guys have left. So yeah, my channel practically blew up, and I have you all to thank for that. That being said, if you want to see another video like this, make sure to like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. Leave a comment if you do have like a certain topic that you'd want me to talk about. And I've got a few more videos on the way, so stay tuned. And again, thank you. I'll see you guys later. Take care.